Shalom, Israel. Brother Reggie Jr. here. So today, guys, we're going to be reading Leviticus chapter 24. Just picking up where I left off last time, guys, and we're going to go ahead and get right into this thing. Leviticus 24 and verse 1, and it says, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel, that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually, without the veil of the testimony, in the tabernacle of the congregation. Shall Aaron order it from evening unto the morning before the Lord continually. It shall be a statute forever in your generation. So, those lamps in that holy place, they had to always be burning. For he shall order the lamps upon the pure candlestick before the Lord, what? Continually. 5. And thou shalt take fine flour, and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2/10 deals shall be in one cake. And thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row, upon the pure table before the Lord. And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Verse 8. Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. Okay, verse 9. And it shall be, so basically this shewbread, it was constantly remade and put in order every Sabbath. Verse 9. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place. So only Aaron, the high priest, and the priests, Aaron's sons, were allowed to eat of the shewbread. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know about the story about how, David was hungry and he ate of the forbidden shewbread. Okay, shewbread means forbidden for him. Why? Because only Aaron and his sons were allowed to eat it. I mean, this was a law. Nobody else but Aaron and his sons could touch that shewbread. But see, what I like about the Lord is, the Lord, this is very hard to explain because a lot of our people, they are so carnal. But you can clearly see how the Lord, he overrided the law to keep the law for David. In other words, all of these laws and stuff like that, Jesus tells you, look, they all boil down to 2 things: loving your God and loving your neighbor as you love yourself. And the Lord could have struck David down for eating that shewbread. Bow! He could have enforced the law, because that's what most Israelites like to do. They like to enforce the law. Enforce. And what I mean by enforce, they love to enforce the penalty of the law, but Israel never puts themselves in the shoes of the person of who the law is being enforced on. So, in other words, what am I saying? Israel has no mercy. All they cared about, was enforcing the penalty of the law. But in doing that, they were also breaking the law, because the whole law is love. It's about loving your brothers and sisters. And what do I mean? A part of the law is what? Mercy, compassion. He seen David was hungry, darn near on the brink of starvation. And so the Lord said, you know what? What if that was me? What if I was in David's shoes, starving? Just want something to eat. He seen David was in need. And so he said, don't worry about that's the priest bread and all that. Go ahead and eat, David. Don't even worry about all that. But instead of doing it, well, we got to keep the law. We got to try to, That's also the law. Mercy, compassion, love. You see your brother in need, fulfill his need. But see, the problem is, people, they're too busy trying to be religious, too busy trying to look holy, instead of just doing the right thing. Okay? But that in itself, that's a whole nother animal of a lesson. Okay? Well, we're going to keep on reading. Verse 10, right? It says, and the son of an Israelitish woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel. And this son of the Israelitish woman and a man of Israel strove together in the camp. So this Israelitish woman's son, okay, whose father was an Egyptian, strove with a man of Israel together in the camp. And it says, and the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord and cursed. So we don't know exactly what went down between this woman's son and this Israelite man, but whatever squabble or beef that they had with each other, this Israelitish woman's son decided to bring the Lord into it. And that's what the Lord has been telling us. Listen, strive with man. Don't strive with me. Okay, you got problem, you got beef with a man. Y'all handle that beef. Y'all strive together, but don't be sitting up here bringing my name in it. Okay, because you bring my name in it, now I'm going to have to cap you. I'm going to have to get you. Why? Because I have to defend my name. You can't just be talking crazy. And so, we don't need to be cursing, and we don't need to be using God's name to prove a point, to double down on stuff. Leave God's name out of it. Whatever you trying to say, or whatever point you trying to prove, you need to just say what it is and let it be that. But don't be using the Lord's name, because all that's going to do is end up getting you in trouble. Okay, just like this Israelitish woman's son. So he beefing with the Israelite man, and he done messed up him and used the Lord's name. He brought the Lord's name in the beef, blasphemed his name. So it says they brought him to Moses, and his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Debri, of the tribe of what? Dan. And it says, and they put him in war. So they put him in jail, put him in a prison, that the mind of the Lord might be shewed them. Okay, so they trying to see what should be done to this boy. So they waiting on the Lord to see what should be done to him, because he used the Lord's name. 13. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that have cursed without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. So the Lord wanted him put to death. And so the Lord was basically trying to show you his might. He was showing you how mighty he is, and that you don't need to be using his name so loosely. I don't know if a lot of y'all know what Harry Potter is, but you had Lord Voldemort. Remember how people didn't say his name? They, instead of saying Lord Voldemort, they would say he that must not be named. They didn't say his name because you mess around and conjure Voldemort, and he put you to death with that curse. So they said he who must not be named. In other words, don't be using the Lord name so loosely in your lips. Like I said, you got an issue with a sister, you got an issue with a brother, y'all handle it like men, y'all handle it like women. But you get in trouble when you start using the Lord name, because you want to double down on the point. You want to show how angry you is with somebody. So you start using the Lord's name to invoke some kind of power. The Lord will mess around and he'll take you out. He will take you clean out. That's why David, I think it's in Psalms, where he said, look, the best time for man, he said the best time for man is at night. He said that's when wisdom is at its all-time high. Why? Because men speak way less at night. Why? Because at night they sleep, or they're preparing to sleep, and they don't do no talking. David said in that is wisdom for man, great wisdom for man, because during the day man is full of energy, they up and going, and they do a whole lot of talking. In other words, your words really need to be few before the Lord, because the Lord be listening to you, okay? And he will call you up on your madness. We have to understand that. So a lot of us brothers and sisters, some of y'all, a lot of y'all new in this walk with the Most High, and some of y'all just came out of the world. And when you was out there in the world, out there in Babylon, you did a whole lot of talking. You ran your mouth all day long. You just wouldn't shut up. And you come over here and you still running your fat mouth. Both man and woman, y'all still running your mouth all day, every second running your mouth. Listen, you're going to find out real quick when you walk with the Most High, you need to be a man or a woman of very few words, because those words that you speak, man, God will call you up on that stuff. And remember what the Lord said. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So you got to be careful. We gods in training. So the stuff we say manifests itself. Not on the scale, not on the level as the Most High, where he could speak light into existence, speak life, and not life, but like he could speak stuff into existence on a huge scale. But for us, that's been capped for us. But believe it or not, we manifest situations. It be even heathen. I hear them all the time. I'm so sick. I'm going to always be sick. And guess what? That darn heathen always sick. Something always happening to him or her. Why? Because they keep speaking it. They just won't shut up. If you're going to utter something, make sure it's something positive. And you got to make sure you watch your words. Watch what you say. Watch the things that you speak. Okay? And definitely do not use the Lord's name to try to double down, like I said, on making a point. Okay? But we're going to keep going, guys. I want to get stuck there. Right? So we left off in 14. The Lord wanted him put to death. Okay? This Israelite, this woman's son, he wanted him put to death. 15. Says, and thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curseth his God shall bear his sin. So God was not playing. Listen, you can curse another man. You can, you can do that to other men, stuff like that, but don't bring me up in it. Don't bring me up trying to prove no point. 16. And he that have blasphemed the name of the Lord, he shall surely be put to death, because the Lord is a great king. See, we forget this. We walk with the Lord, we love the Lord and stuff like that, but don't ever get it twisted. Know your place, peasant. And I'm talking to me too, a peasant. We need to know our place. At the end of the day, you are still a peasant. And the Lord is a great king. And just like with natural kings, you did not utter their name. Like in Rome, I'm using Rome because everybody's familiar with Rome and, the Caesars. You didn't just utter Caesar's name, because you could be put to death. You could be brought on trial. But see, people respected that because they could see Caesar. Okay? But see, with the Most High, people can't see the Most High. So they reckless. I could just utter his name and I'm good. Now, the Lord is more patient, because Caesar and them that play, you would just put to death. Now, the Lord is more patient. But nevertheless, The time gonna come when he gonna call you up on your garbage. So don't be using the Lord name so loosely. All right, because he's a great king, and we need to always keep that in the back of our mind. Because, we always say that, Father, he is my friend. Yeah, he your friend. I agree. He's your companion. He's all of that. But never forget, he is a great king. He is a mighty king. The Most High. Never forget that. Verse 16. And he that blasphemeth the name of the Lord, he shall surely be put to death. And all the congregation shall certainly stone him, as well the stranger. So no exceptions. As he that is born in the land. So it always tells you that as he that is born in the land. So it's letting you know there are going to be a time is going to come where Israelites are going to be strangers. Some are going to be born outside of the land. They're going to be strangers. But hey, they need to understand that, listen, when they come on back in this land, hey, they better know. They better not blaspheme my name, because they will be put to death. All right, so the Lord is laying it all out. And it says, when he blasphemed the name of the Lord, when he blasphemed the name of the Lord, shall be put to death, and he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. And he that killeth any man shall surely be put to death. So no murder. God do not like murder. Okay? He don't. All that blood shed, because you got to understand, once blood is shed, it's going to start a cycle. It's going to start a cycle basically of like revenge. This person will come after this person because they came after that person, and that person gonna get him for coming after him. So the Lord like, listen, So he want this stuff dealt with. No murder. 18. It says, he that killeth a beast shall make it good. Beast for beast. Okay. And if a man cause a blemish in his neighbor, as he have done, so shall it be done to him. Breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he have caused a blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him again. 21. And he that killeth the beast, he shall restore it. And he that killeth a man, he shall be put to death. So the Lord, he want justice. He want there to be justice in the land, because when there's no justice, then you get vigilantism. People want to start putting things into their own hands. Lord, like, because you just gonna start bloodshed all throughout the land. So it's like, when a problem arises, when a problem comes up, you need to deal with it right then and there. Okay. All right. 22. And it says, ye shall have one manner of law as well for the stranger as for one of your own country. Right. And why does it keep saying that? Because the time is going to come where they're going to be Israelites born outside of the land, but they're going to come back into their native land, okay, and sojourn and stay there, for a time, at least until they return back. And the Lord, like, listen, they got to abide by the same rules as those that's homeborn, no exceptions. Well, in the land that, I was born in, I'm an Israelite. I was born in Italy, in there we allowed to do this, this, and this. Lord, like, listen, I don't care. When you come in this land, when you come in my house, you're going to abide by my rules. Okay, verse 23, it says, and Moses spake to the children of Israel that they should bring forth him that had cursed out of the camp and stone him with stones. And the children of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses. And of course, the Lord had to do it. Why? Because he was trying to put that fear. He was trying to put that fear in Israel. Because the thing about evil, brothers and sisters, is you have to stop it at the door. If you don't stop evil at the door, it's going to spread. And this is what the Lord understood. That's why in the Bible it says, you know, and this and this happened to put the evil away, because evil will spread. If you don't deal with evil on the spot, it will spread. Okay, and the Lord understood that. But that's it for this lesson, guys. I hope you got some understanding, and I will see you in the next chapter. Shalom.